My name is Ja'mel Armstrong. I pastor New Horizon Baptist Church in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been in that role for 4 years now. Technically, officially, it's been five. I took over January 1 of 2021, so dead in the middle of the pandemic. So we kind of don't count that first year because it was something weird, right? But yeah, so I love it. It is actually my childhood home. And so I planted a couple of churches before that. So for about 10 years before that, I was planting churches and helping to train urban church planters throughout the country. And so I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the call came. My childhood pastor retired and asked if I'd come home, and I accepted it. And it's been the best move that I could have ever made. So that's me, essentially, Southern boy down in Kentucky. So just enjoy it. My church is kind of like a prototypical Black Baptist congregation. And we are nestled in the heart of kind of like the southwest part of our city, in an area that's kind of known as Shively. And there where we are both surrounded by both the working poor and people who are just trying to survive, but also kind of the working middle class. And so it's a beautiful community. I'm blessed to be able to serve there, and I enjoy the work. Coming back home is a delight. It's the place where I found Christ, or where He found me. The place where I met my wife. So all of my major milestones just in life happened there. So to come back now to lead it is especially special for me. So when I think about ministry, especially ministry to the community and in the prophetic context, I think about a couple of things. In the world in which we live now, I think my particular community needs someone who is able to kind of in the tradition of the men of Issachar, who can interpret the times. There's so much coming at the community so quickly and so vast that we need voices who can interpret what's happening and be able to disseminate that and pass it along to the congregation, but also teach the people what to do with it. So many times our people are bombarded with information and movements and laws and legislation, and it can be overwhelming to the average person. And so what I see a large part of my responsibility to my community is to help to interpret that, but also help them figure out what to do with it. Like how do we move with it? And then one of the things that I feel especially called to is for our community to learn what it means to be not so dependent on external agencies or external communities. Like how can we be elevate, heighten, and empower the voices, provide agency to those who don't even know they have it in our community, and how can we be completely self-sufficient? And so what we've tried to do while being there is to help discover the giftings that exist within the community and within the congregation, to help the people understand that they have something of value. They have a value add for the community. And that's how we're modeling our ministry thus far, through means of teaching gardening so people can learn how to have their own produce, financial empowerment, understanding the wealth that exists within our community that is oftentimes overlooked. And so, but that is also rooted in what I think about the prophetic tradition. When I think about prophetic ministry, I think of the biblical prophets and what they were called to do. And I think that, too often the people, especially who aren't familiar with our conversations and what we've discussed over the years, they think about prophets as far as foretelling, telling the future about what's to come. And although that may be a function of prophetic ministry, it's largely about being able to interpret both the times and also the will of God in the midst of the times. And so I feel my call is to do that, to speak truth to power in the midst of all the injustice, all of the chaos, all of the negative messages that our people are bombarded with. That we have a particular call to speak to that, but not just angrily, and not everything, because everything, we can't be reactive in this. We have to make sure that what we are sharing, speaking, teaching, and how we are empowering our people is got to be a matter of productivity. So our people need to know what's for us and what's not for us. And oftentimes it first begins with not reacting so much what happens on the national or the global scale, but first seeing how and what impacts us at home in the immediate, and then figuring out how does things grow from there.